Calmer Waters 22. Please give your girl a like, a subscribe, and a share. I would greatly appreciate it. And before we get started on the topic today, I would like to give a special thanks to all the male subscribers to this channel. And the reason why I want to give you a special thanks and a shout out is because I know that this is a taboo area for males to seek out or even dive into on your spiritual journey and your own personal journey to healing your shadow side. And even though it is getting less taboo for males to be interested in this type of healing information, it still is less males that will seek this type of knowledge out or vibration. So I'm really grateful for your presence, and I'm happy that you chose me. So thank you. All right, let's get into the topic. And the topic is, do you have trustworthy people around you? And I want to go ahead and say a line that most people use, right? And the line is, keep your circle small, right? But I want to add to that. And I agree with keeping your circle small. I am totally in agreement with that. But there is a piece that we miss. And the piece is, in your small circle, are those people trustworthy? Can you truly trust them? So when we say, let's keep our circle small, make sure that the people you chose to put in that small circle, you have vetted out and you have paid attention to any red flags that they may have that might warrant you not to have them in your small circle, okay? And what do I mean by red flags? The inability for that personnel to truly trust themselves and honor their true, authentic self, no matter what. Can you see that within their auric field? Do they embody this? Do you see them having spiritual boundaries with others? Okay. Do you see them loving on themselves and giving their self-love on a each now basis, every now, each time we rise? And do you see that in their world? Do you see them being creative and expressive and not being afraid to do that and not being shy to be their authentic selves around anybody? If you don't see these qualities in your small circle that you've created, that you call your trustworthy circle, then you might have to make some changes, okay? Maybe you thought you could trust this personnel at one point because you were vibrating on a level that they are, and you're seeing some red flags. And so you've seen that you have elevated and you have raised the bar in your energetic field, but the person that you've allowed in your small circle has not. You want to make sure too that the people in your small circle aren't gossip kings and queens, okay? That they don't talk about others. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to have helpful, meaningful conversations with people in your small circle to bounce back scenarios and ideas and get a positive feedback on how to handle a situation. Maybe you need to consult your friend, right? Or your family member, or your lover, or your coworker, or someone you're in business partnership with, right? That's fine. But do these personnels in your small circle, do they talk about people? Are they always bringing someone else up in a negative manner? And it really has nothing to do with anything, because one, you probably don't even know this other person they're talking about. And if you do, then you would say to yourself, well, why can't you convey that to that personnel? Why are you talking to me about that? Okay. I'm not saying that I haven't done this in the past. I haven't been a gossip queen. Obviously, we all have done these things, and now we are on a new page, and we are raising the bar in our work field, in our new nows, right? So that we don't operate like we used to. So if you can't see the growth in people that you've placed in your audience, right, your small circle, you might have to start making some changes. And if that is the case, you have to trust your intuition. It's always best to consort with source and your higher self. And if you aren't getting the downloads and the feedback from source or your higher self, then that means your intuition is blocked. But if you are getting some, and it's telling you you might have to let a few people go that you put in that circle of trust, then it's time for you to put your big girl panties on and your big boy boxers or dun-dun-duns on and make some changes, okay? And not be afraid to do that. So, this can be a tricky area to start paying attention to, because one, maybe these personnels that you have in your small circle have been there for you in some way, and they have been there in hard times, right? But one of you is going this way and the other one is staying stagnant. And when that happens, that means you are not vibrating on the same energetic signature, and you are basically moving away from each other, right? And that just means that that person is unwilling to do the work, the true shadow work of healing these parts of you that are weak, these parts of you that are not growing and they're not expanding. So you can never make anyone do this. Has to be a personal choice. And if you're not forever expanding and looking more towards the light and the light actions and the light mindset, then you are not vibing in the same energetic wave anymore. So it's time for you to part ways, okay? And this can be very, very, very sad. It really can be. You can always, get over the sadness. You don't have to linger in this energy, but it can be sad because it is a dismantling of a connection. And like I always say, it doesn't mean that we are not all one, but we are in different levels to this shit. And it's time for you to take the rose-colored glasses off and start being honest with yourself and stop telling yourself white lies, and recognize that you and your small circle may not be vibing the way you would like anymore. They didn't make the cut. They chose to stay at the bottom. One key thing about placing people in your small circle is if they have an inability to, this is a big one too, especially if they are partnered up with someone, right? And whether it's male or female or plethora, okay, whatever you do in your sexual orientation and whomever you do it with, totally up to you. But if you see that they do not have a free-flowing spirit with that personnel that they are laying down with and doing the deed with, if you see that they can't be themselves with that personnel 100%, and they have to tiptoe and walk on eggshells, or can't express themselves and have an even give and take conversation, that's a red flag for you to have that personnel in your small circle, because they will not be able to do that with you fully, okay? If you can't do it with someone you're sharing your bed with, you're definitely not going to be able to do it with me. And no shade, no hate. You send this person love and light, and you hope that they can gain the courage and the authenticity within their own selves to be able to be themselves with somebody they're breaking bread with and laying down with. Okay, you don't want that to be the person you convey private things to, right? Health things, financial things, personal relationship things. You don't want to give all of that information and that energy to them when they can't even trust their own selves to be authentic to the person they lay down with. That is a huge red flag. And you should pay attention to this, okay? Even if it was you're doing this, whoever has you in their small circle should pay attention that you're not being authentic, and they might need to let you go. The pendulum swings both ways. Nobody's better than anyone, but there are levels to this shit and energetic signatures. And if you are manifesting the life you desire and you want to be on your highest timeline, and you can't seem to be honest with people around you, then there's a red flag for it all, okay? I have some nuggets of wisdom that you can write down in your notebook. And I wanted to read, I have 5 of them, and I wanted to read them to everyone so that you can reference back to when you are met with this energy and you want to transmute it and see whether or not this is playing out in your world, okay? So let's start with 1. Like attracts like. So having loyal, honest individuals around you reflects your own inner integrity and spiritual maturity. It is a spiritual maturity energy that you have adopted within yourself to let you know that there are some red flags with your small circle, and you might have to make some changes, okay? Number 2, being around trustworthy people can signify that your heart is open and your relationships are spiritually nourishing. Wow, that's that. I wrote this down because that's how it truly is. When you're around somebody you can trust, the back and forth, the give and take is very spiritually nourishing. You don't feel like you're giving more or the other person is giving more. You have a balance in this connection, right? And it's so nourishing to your soul because you know that each party is vibing on the same wavelength, right? And neither one is taking more from one another than is needed. You're equally giving and equally receiving, okay? Number 3, make sure you can trust the people around you to say and do the right actions on your behalf when no one else is watching them. Can you trust the people in your small circle to say and do the right actions on your behalf when you're not watching, when you're not around, when you don't even know what they're doing in their day because they're living their lives and you're living yours, right? And you just have that inner knowing that they are speaking good about you. They are sending you good energy. They are not jealous of you, right? And they love their own selves to the highest max. So you know they're going to love you to the highest max, okay? Such a good thing to pay attention to of the personnels in your small circle. Number 4, trust is earned, never acquired. Pay attention to people's patterns and actions they take involving you. This is such a good tool. Pay attention. When you have something going on in your world, do they give you the same energy and responsiveness that you give to them? Or is it quick, short, and hey, get it out because I got other things I need to do? Okay? There's so many other ways this can play out, but this is something for you to pay attention to. Is it matching the same way? Are you giving and receiving on the same level? Good question to ask yourself. Number 5, you must like yourself fully and be able to hear the truth from people in your circle about yourself rather than a lie. Can you tell people in your circle the truth about themselves? And can you receive it with love? And knowing that we're not going to play the cookie cutter game and tell you everything you want to hear just to build your ego up. No, we're going to tell you the truth because I truly love you. It's like the whole coach syndrome. If I don't say nothing to you, I'm not worried about you. But if I'm on you and I'm like, hey, get it right, do this right, do that right, that means because I care. I want you to do better. I see where you're falling off. Can you receive my message with love? And can you do the same for me? Hey, what you did the other day wasn't really the right action, and maybe you should tone it down a little bit or whatever, right? At least it gives you the inner knowing to know that that personnel in your small circle really loves you and they really care about you because they want to let you know, hey, that part of you is a little piss poor. And I just wanted to let you know, just like if it was a parent to a child, right? They're going to say, hey, you can get your grades up, but you can't wake up and not bring your notebook, your pencil, and your backpack and leave it on the couch and then go to school and then expect to, be productive that day. Okay, it's the same thing. So why can't we have it from adults that we claim that are our trustworthy people in our small circles, right? Why can't we do the same thing? We can. We make excuses for it because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. No way. No way will we do that anymore. That's false, and we're not doing that. We're going to be authentic with ourselves, right? Okay, so let's get into it here. That was number 5. I really want to state all of this because I've noticed in the collective lately that there has been a lot of jealous unalivings, okay? And it's because these small circles that we have, and the people that we have in them are not truly trustworthy because of all the things I stated. And we should get to a point where we start vetting this out more and truly paying attention to this instead of brushing it off or saying, oh, they just had a bad day, or oh, this or that. There are patterns. Do not ignore the red flags and do not ignore the patterns. Source is bringing this to your intuition, into your attention for a reason, okay? And now it is up to you to make the necessary changes that need to be made. Before we go, in closing, I did want to pull one affirmation card from here, from the Louise Hayes card deck. I love it. It's such a uplifting messages that she has on all these cards. And I do want to pull one so that we can understand that this is a process and we will get better at it. We will, but it is a must process. This is something that we really truly need to start incorporating in our world. Instead of just giving these people these titles, right? When they haven't even shown us that they deserve it anymore. Maybe they did at one point, like I said, when we were on that level. But as we elevate, there needs to be more growth within everyone in the circle. And if there isn't, then there needs to be changes. Point blank, period, okay? So let's see what Source has for us. What beautiful affirmations do you have for us, Source? Let's see. Give us one good one in closing. Oh, shoot. I express my creativity. Beautiful. Let's read. My unique and creative talents and abilities flow through me and are expressed in deeply satisfying ways. My creativity is always in demand. You want to know why this is such a good message? Because when you have trustworthy people around you, your creativity isn't blocked. You are able to have an inner knowing on what Source wants you to create and what Source wants you to have passion in. But when you have people around you that you can't trust, they will drain that creativity from you and you will be lost. Okay, you won't even know where to grab the creativity. It will be lost to you because you are around people that you cannot trust. And energetically, it's blocking you. Okay? I hope this message helped at least one of you. And until next time, take care.